Hello again, my metal friends. Welcome back to That's Heavy. It's a new year, new season. I got some new friends to introduce you to, and it's going to be a new kind of heavy. I'll get more into that later, but first, let me introduce a couple of people. First, we have the first in command, the Riffmaster General himself, Garrett M. Brooks. How you doing, Garrett?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me there, Balls. It's so much fun.
Of course. And then, secondly, we have our supreme audio wizardry aficionado, Justin Osborne. How you doing?
I'm great. Hopefully everything is great as well.
Yeah. Hopefully you're hearing this and seeing this in crystal clear quality. And if you are, it's thanks to this bro. So
we'll
thank
know
you.
in a little bit.
That's right.
And if you're not, it's not my fault.
Exactly. So first, I want to talk about some new stuff that we may be anticipating. So I'm going to call this segment Heavy Weights. Okay. Anything that like we're waiting on or something. I know I want to talk about concerts, but is there an album that's either coming out this year or maybe one that already came out that you haven't heard yet and you haven't given it a full dive
Hopefully,
yet?
Forms 4.
Well, right.
Yeah, Forms 4. I'm stoked for it.
You said last time tentative for 2025, right? So we're going to try to beat that. But yeah.
Yeah, working title better than the Black Album.
Yes. Yeah, and hopefully that sticks. So.
No, I know that He Is Legend is working on an album, and I always love them. They're kind of like the band that you can, for me, that like fits in my back pocket that I've followed forever, you know.
Yeah, I don't know too much about them, but I do know that song "Sand" that y'all had played like obsessively. Hopefully,
Boogie Woman.
That's a good one too.
Boogie Woman's jam.
From what was it? The Bat, White Bat.
White Bat, yeah.
White Bat.
2019 White Bat.
There's not too many of their songs, at least off those two albums that I've heard that I don't care for. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, they're consistently solid.
When you listen to an album and you say, there's not a lot that I don't care for, that's pretty good. That's pretty well reviewed.
Right.
Yeah, when you're not trying to trim the fat.
They just have a cool style, you know. They do like southern rock, heavy, really heavy metal stuff. They have emo elements, screamo, post-hardcore, punk. They do really beautiful, soft music.
He's got a great voice.
Like, Perfect Circle stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to us, kind of, you know, how we do a lot of different styles. So
a hard rock composition with heavy metal execution is what I like to call us. But yeah, Justin, you got one?
Ooh, new Chili Peppers coming out, but that first new jam, I'm not. I mean, it's Chili Peppers. It is what it is.
I mean, can't really go wrong though.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's good and catchy, and you know,
I will say, very rarely do they release like their first single usually isn't like a super strong track for me personally on the records.
That's almost kind of nice though.
Yeah, the last record, what was the first one? Like Dark Necessities was the first single.
I think so. Yeah.
A pretty badass song.
Wasn't Gojira's first one on this last record was the Amazonia or whatever?
Yeah, which I didn't.
One of my least favorites.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. But like then when you get to the meat of the album, you're like always, you know, surprised or always impressed. Even with like the new Dawn record, like new Mastodon, Hushed and Grim, like the two singles, Teardrinker and Tides, like they're good. But yeah, I mean, those would be the ones that I skip. I
like Teardrinker better than the other one, Tides.
Really?
But the rest of the record has way cooler stuff.
Yeah.
But Teardrinker's pretty.
I think I'm actually opposite on those singles. Like I think I like Tides a little bit better. But okay, well, you know, mine is going to be Meshuggah.
Yeah.
Slated for April 1st. Please, for the love of God, don't let that be an April Fool's joke. That's the only thing that I'm still slightly worried about for some reason, is that it'll either get pushed or that the whole fucking thing is an April Fool's joke. I really don't think they do that, but new single, pretty heavy. I mean...
Yeah, it's heavy.
I thought that it was a bit goofy at first because it's got that upbeat China, that kind of like, it kind of sits in the middle, but it's heavy. Like, I don't know. I listened to it right before I walked in today and I was like, okay, it's still got that essence of them in it, even though it's a little bit goofy, even though like the end of the song a little goofy, but still great.
As our friend Randall would say, got no groove to it.
I mean, and you know what I'm going to say? I disagree. Because that's apparently my catchphrase. Okay. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Immutable.
Yeah.
Great name. Great album cover. Looks like almost like an Alex Gray like murderous painting. He's got like
probably
that knife.
Gonna want to mute it at some point.
No. I mean I won't, but
not a big Meshuggah fan. So
I mean it's just
keep it muted.
I don't know. It's just too much for me. It doesn't have any melody.
Yeah, there's very rarely do they have a
I disagree.
melody besides a guitar part here and there, like a lead guitar part.
Right.
It usually
Okay.
sounds kind of synthy.
Exhibit A, straws pulled at random. Beautiful melody,
Yeah,
okay? Especially in the solo.
section, yeah.
But even the main heavy riff, for some reason, it's got that kind of melodicism, heavy melodicism too. Okay, I could do that all day.
You're most excited about Meshuggah.
Yes, most excited
I'll
about
definitely
Meshuggah.
listen to it.
Okay, couple of honorable mentions too. I just showed y'all to that new 40 Watt Sun record. I know y'all haven't listened to the full thing, but
Just what you
such
showed
an
me.
emotionally heavy band,
Haven't
crushing.
listened to the full track.
I mean, yeah, they're kind of long, but if you do not know 40 Watt Sun, definitely go check out their stuff. Used to be a doom metal band, now they're more of kind of this very clean but really, really heavy and in like an emotional weight way. Their new album, Perfect Light, absolutely beautiful. A perfect album.
Really crooning folk. Almost,
Yes,
you know?
yeah. It reminds me a little bit of like a Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I get
Alice
a
in
little Eddie
Chains.
Vedder out of the vocals, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, amazing
Yeah,
vocalist.
but it still retains a lot of the doom elements.
Yeah.
The tempos and
Yeah.
the repetitive riffs.
And the subject material
And
or
subject
subject matter. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, so
Yeah.
heavy. But
Very
yeah,
cool.
that's a great one. Circa Survive just released another album. Again, not really traditionally heavy, but emotionally heavy as well. It's called A Dream About Death. Heavy artwork too. It's like an actual installation that like they built for it. Concerts, like just very quickly. Here's 3 that I'm looking forward to. Even if y'all don't have anything to add to this, like I think we should at least try to go to these 3, or at least like maybe the one of these 2. So I have these in not only chronological but diabolical order. Okay, so
Okay.
First one is Ghost and Volbeat. Not too
Very
much.
diabolical Volbeat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too well versed in Volbeat, to be honest. I liked that cover. Or no, actually, I think
It was the Metallica one, right?
Is it Volbeat or Voivod that did the cover?
No, Volbeat.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I liked the cover that they did.
They
It was-
covered Don't Tread on Me for the Blacklist.
and they did like a different take on the drums, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, different take on the whole song,
Yeah,
really.
very cool.
Very cool cover.
And I have not seen them.
One of my favorites from the Blacklist.
So Ghost and Volbeat, February 26th, that's later this month, at Fair Park Coliseum in Dallas. So just in case you're in the area. Next one I'm very excited about. I have not seen Cannibal Corpse before. That's bucket list for me. They're playing March 19th at Amplified in Dallas, and me and our good buddy Ryan Mowry are going to that for sure.
Former Gas Monkey live.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Amplified.
Yeah. And then finally, the one I'm most excited about, Meshuggah, of course, is playing with Converge, which is
2 faves.
a very
Yeah, 2
weird
favorites.
pairing. Like
2
literally
favorites.
2 of my favorite bands. I mean, I love Converge, love Meshuggah. I cannot tell you how many thousands of times I've listened to "You Fail Me" by Converge. It's just it hits so hard. They're playing October 13th at the Ballroom at Warehouse Live in Houston. Just in case you don't want to see Converge with them, which if that's you, that's insane.
Just stay in the parking lot.
Just stay in the parking lot. No, I was going to say they're playing a little bit closer to us at the Factory in Deep Ellum if you just wanted to see Suge on October 12th.
Formerly called the Bomb Factory.
The Bomb Factory. That's right.
They're not allowed to call it that anymore.
So those are some concerts to watch out for.
You know, staying in the parking lot, that's a concept we came up with a long time ago going to shows.
Oh, yeah, just
call
like-
them parking lot bands. Or,
Yeah.
you know, or if it were a band where you only wanted to see the headliner or something, you would be like, oh, that's a parking lot bill for sure. You might hear parking lot band, parking lot bill, and you'll know what we're talking about.
That's right. Coined here on the
Yeah,
That's Heavy
yeah.
podcast. Next, I kind of want to go into a different segment, heavy verses, right? Like not verse of a song, but versus like a battle, like a fight.
boxing match.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you had to eliminate one band,
Right.
and the example was Blink-182 or Green Day, like which one are you going to? You have to violently murder one of them, okay, and then you get to keep one.
Okay.
Their discography is erased from the annals of history. Like there will be no
Erased
one of those
from the
bands
annals of time.
erased from the annals of time.
Yes.
Does anybody want to say their choices? Like, let's just say
I'm sure
we go
we're
with that
gonna be-
example.
I think we're going to be unanimous. But
No, Green
I mean-
Day's gone.
oh wow.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Dissenting opinion.
Yeah, Green Day's gone by a long shot. I mean, my
No
fucking
way.
Great.
yeah, the first thing probably got me interested in music at all
Was Blink?
was probably Blink-182.
Like,
Really?
Like
Huh.
probably like 95 or something
Some
like that.
man.
person I'm sure is going to be like, oh, their first album is actually
Right.
Well, yeah.
Well, then me and Garrett definitely unanimous getting rid of Blink.
Yeah, I'll get rid of Blink-182. I think Green Day, just better discography.
Heavier riffs overall. I mean,
more diverse, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be the first to say I don't like their new stuff almost at all. Yeah. But like old Green Day, like Dookie, Nimrod shit is like,
I mean, I was like a skater kid, so.
What about American Idiot, man? It's like
nope.
That's like one of the classics of our time.
Cat just bit the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Jasper.
You're not gonna be able to touch him. Yeah.
Metal Cat.
American Idiot.
It was not my thing.
That's like the Led Zeppelin 4 of
I guess.
millennials.
I kind of tuned out as Warning was coming out. I mean, long before. But like, but like songs like Hitching a Ride, Welcome to Paradise. I mean, like these songs, like while not really traditionally heavy, again, like seminal to my upbringing.
Definitely.
I mean, very very important.
Welcome to the junk.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, maybe. I'm still choosing Green Day. Because like the best Green Day at their best, way better than Blink at their best. I think, honestly,
Yeah.
But,
Billy Joe. I mean.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a great songwriter.
Great. Yeah. That was
way to glue melodies and chord progressions together.
Yeah,
and,
true.
That's why he has 8,000 fucking fat radio hits,
Yeah, and also like just being able to do that. Yeah, exactly. Like over 3 decades, like and keep that
doing
fresh
it at a high level for so long.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, maybe make it a little bit more metal there, balls.
So a new example, like
verses.
The other one that I want to do.
Okay.
If you had to only have old Meshuggah, like from the Nun, Contradictions, Collapse, Chaos Fear, and Future Breed Machine. Or sorry, Destroy, Erase, Improve. All right. So if you had to have the first like 4 Meshuggah albums, that kind of style, which I'll call like, it's more like polymetric Metallica. It's still very
thrashy.
Very thrashy. If you were to have only old Meshuggah like that era, or the new Meshuggah, meaning like the 7 to 9, I think, string guitars, the pretty much everything in 4/4, but with some fucking, crazy Frederick Thorndahl riffs.
I think their productions sound great, but I mean,
fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, crushing.
So I would probably say the newer stuff, but I mean, I'm not all that familiar with.
Well, yeah, obviously,
either, but,
like in a mixed way, fucking.
But
absolutely.
I probably prefer the newer stuff just because the production value or whatever.
Yeah,
is probably going to be
quite
a bit better.
The old stuff, the production sounds, like "And Justice for All" or.
Oh, it's got a quality.
It has that real 80s, early 90s kind of sound to it. Give me Nothing and Obscene, and then give me that really dark black and green color. Colossal, yeah. Give me those 3, you can have the rest.
Well, I will say good picks. I mean, and you're right, Nothing is that transition into their new kind of era. Right. But I feel like it was just... Yeah, you're right, man. Like when it starts with Stenga into Rational Gaze.
There's like some really, there's some stuff on there that could be like on a Pantera record. Looks really groovy.
Yeah. Oh, and
but they're starting with the polyrhythms. They're starting with the crazy riffs.
Yeah. And I would say that's probably still that album feel that's hardest to imitate for them, because it's still a little more all over the place as opposed to really focused like Obscene and Colossal and stuff. Right. Like it had some crazy nebulous ideas and stuff,
Colossal gets a little, hard to wrap your head around it at some points.
Which I love.
Yeah. I mean, Obscene, I guess is how you pronounce it.
Right.
Has some pretty out there concepts too, but...
Yeah. Fucking incredible band. This is a really hard one for me, like, because, I mean, I'll never forget when our great buddy Randall, showed me Meshuggah up in the upstairs, of the De Cordova house. I'm like,
of course.
And my discography instantly became meaningless to me. Like, everything I had was, like, not heavy enough, Right. So... I don't know. So that's very important to me.
They're the progenitors of gent, and
probably
the torchbearers of groove metal.
I'm going to say maybe the most imitated band and style, like, at least for the last, like, fucking 10 years. I mean, at least, so. Dude. I mean, there's so much where they're almost like that H.P. Lovecraft kind of, like, they pervade their respective medias, like, so much. Like, there's a little bit of like Lovecraft and so much shit right now. I feel like there's a little bit of Meshuggah in like so much heavy music. I mean, for like we said, for a while now.
Yeah,
but
I mean, anytime you hear like a dissonant guitar bend, like,
right?
It's like that's like 50 steps below standard tuning.
Right.
You know?
some crushingly off time chuggy riffs or something like. And I hate to kind of just distill, you know, their stuff just to a couple characteristics, but I mean, so imitated. And then like you have bands like Periphery and Animals as Leaders that just go on and kind of skyrocket past them.
Take the ball and run with it.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, and I love those bands as well, but it's just kind of, it hurts a little bit.
I don't think you made your decision yet, did you?
Fuck, I mean, I probably will pick new era Meshuggah, just because I feel like...
What is this, starting from Colossal on, or what? That's only 2 records, isn't it?
I'll be honest, the first one I ever heard was Rational Gaze, which is off of Nothing.
I think that's everyone. That's probably...
Right? Yeah, probably. People. Like, you can't have Nothing and Destroy, Erase, Improve. That's what I'll say. Like,
that's cheating.
If you could only have Destroy, Erase, Improve or Nothing, that's how I'll break it down.
Yeah.
I have to choose Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, even though Destroy, Erase, Improve has Future Breed Machine, like, arguably, you know, maybe their most popular besides Bleed.
Destroy, Erase, Improve, you can really hear them start to change from like that thrashy style to the gent or
that more
groove metal kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the groove, like that more
like
bass heavy.
It still has a lot of elements of their really old stuff on it.
Yeah, Justin has some homework because like I know not the biggest fan of Meshuggah, but correct me if I'm wrong, Garrett, Metallica expert, been on Alpha Metallica podcast, very well read and researched. I mean, I can't even point to all the Metallica things probably in this room. Wouldn't you say that Contradictions Collapse, you know, the one with the Statue of Liberty, era Meshuggah is like elevated Metallica? Like, it's that style, at least when it comes to like the heaviness and off-time factor. Like,
if you think that Meshuggah of that era is better than Metallica, then you, my friend, are the one that's elevated.
Well, okay, I think that it's great. I think that it's great.
It's a heavier, more caustic sounding version of what Metallica was trying to
great
do.
Word. Yeah.
Or what Metallica did, you know.
It's like that
heavier thrash kind of.
It's like a progressive thrash almost.
Yeah, progressive kind of has death elements in it. Some stuff.
Oh yeah.
The guitars are tuned down lower, I think. Yeah.
And again, sometimes they'll burst in with something more beautiful than fucking Metallica has ever written. Yeah. Including maybe my favorite beauty of theirs is Orion or something. I mean, they have some...
All opinions are Taylor Balls do not reflect the...
right.
The podcast.
Yeah. All progressive anything music means it's just wanky.
No, that's not right.
That's what...
No, you're wrong.
It is.
Progressive
jazz is just some... Yeah.
Okay, jazz is a whole other thing. The whole other thing that I can't really dive into, but I will say that Meshuggah is a very jazzy band in that respect as well.
Right,
you know?
yeah. I mean, it's all kind of...
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But also, okay.
That's the progressive thing.
I think the truly progressive things, like when it comes to music that I write, music that he writes that I love to play to, music that I like to purchase and enjoy my time with is progressive, because I just want to not be able to fucking predict it after the first 7 goddamn seconds of the song, you know? Like, I want it to go places.
Well, yeah.
And that is progressive, because just a verse, chorus, verse that literally has no change in it, yeah, there's value in that, because what makes something fun to listen to for most people is the ability to instantly recognize it, and then when it goes back, you're like, okay, now I know this, I can dance, I can sing to it. Fuck that. I'm saying I want something that changes, that goes to a different place. That way it's not predictable. You get repeat value. You know, I feel like music that's not progressive is like the Disney Pixar of like movies, where I want something more like, give me a Buffalo 66, give me that art house, give me that, you know, 80s horror.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Give me a Buffalo Wild Wings. Give me some spice. Yeah. I need the atomic heat. I can't just settle for desert dry rub. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I need some saucy, liquidy, goopy, progressive business.
There's a place for both, yeah. They can both have their audience.
Yeah, of course. And Justin's like sitting over here like, and I'm not one of them.
Yeah, not me.
He's in that Pixar metal.
Yeah, Pixar metal.
Yeah, it's all nice and shiny and polished. And look, I love Up as much as the rest of us, you know, but it's like, you need something that's...
Right, I'm all about, like, the hooky.
Yeah.
You know, I like, you know... And you're gonna walk around and hum. You ain't gonna be.
And I'm more about music that's like a hooker. All right, it's dirty, and it gives you a Hummer. How about that? Does that count as a joke? I feel like that's a joke that Gert would make, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's like something a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old would laugh at,
right.
I'm in on it.
There you go. Yeah.
Best on Edge says progressive to me is just doesn't repeat. Doesn't even have to be a long song.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yeah,
that's
sure.
True.
I mean, I'll agree with that.
There's been many times Balls and I have sat in the studio and said, or the riff space, and been like, oh, let's write a song where the riff never repeats. It's a different riff every measure,
Oh, that's my dream.
Yeah, we work it up, and then it doesn't ever get recorded or something. We got the idea.
Yeah, and on that note, like you want a good example of modern progressive metal that is a very different sound than what you would associate with progressive metal is Cynic. Cynic is a longtime band that just came out with a new album. They broke up for, I want to say 10, 15 years. I'm probably wrong on that. They just came out with a new album that is fantastic, which I am frantically looking up the name of. It's called Ascension Codes. And
you want to pull that up, Jamie? Let's hear it.
Type in, how about Architects of Consciousness?
Because I've never heard any Cynic before, I don't think so.
Oh, Cynic is great. I mean,
good for me.
if you want a good example of old Cynic, which is still progressive, still has very spacey feel, it's, I would say, Evolutionary Sleeper.
There you go. Architecture of Aggression.
Architects of Consciousness.
That's a Megadeth.
There you go.
It's very
spooky, spacey, and boom, progressive. It's like they have some sweeping riffs. They have nice vocal melodies. They have some synth and/or guitar solos. They have bass doing a lot of work outside of just backing up the rhythm and stuff. This just came out end of 2021.
Oh, this just came out.
And I'll have to look, their last album came out in 2014, so not as long as I thought. But then before that, 2008. So been a lot of space in between.
Kind of like that Chinese democracy.
Yeah. Right. Probably.
It doesn't sound like what I imagined it to sound like. That.
Right. Go check out Cynic, Architects of Consciousness, if you want, as Garrett said, a surprising sound to your progressive metal, right? If you want something like a band that I absolutely love that is still making my favorite progressive music is Between the Buried and Me. I know they're way more well known. I mean, they might as well be mainstream when it comes to metal. But man, they just put out Colors 2, a sequel to my favorite album of theirs. It's so good. It has so many callbacks. Some of them literally have almost the exact same structure for the first part of the song or something, and just have maybe one or two riffs done differently.
That's a very Dream Theater type thing to do, have multiple themes throughout albums. I know that Colors record meant a lot to a lot of people, so I know it's a huge...
What's the comment saying?
What do we got?
All right, it says, good example, Saints Never Surrender.
Who's saying it?
I guess is that Boston Edge?
Boston Edge. Okay.
Boston Edge.
Yeah,
comment,
it says, good example, Saints Never Surrender, into the epic, very progressive, but my kind of progressive, LOL.
Boom. And what did he say after that?
And it says, BTBAM.
That's Between the Buried and Me.
Oh, yeah.
BTBAM.
Very rad.
Very rad indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
That reminds me of this screenshot I have on my phone. Balls and Randall and I having this conversation. It's not pretty much this exact same conversation. And Balls saying, hey, what concert do you want to go to? And Randall and I are like, oh, let's go to the Lamb of God concert so we can get real fucked up. And Balls says, I'd rather go to BTBAM. Is that right?
BT Bam.
BTBAM, yeah.
No, BT Bam. You gotta say the Bam.
BT Bam.
Okay. And then Randall goes, BT Bam ? And then Ball says, yes, bring me the horizon. What'd you say?
Oh, Between the Buried and Me. Yeah, bring me the horizon.
Between the Buried and Me.
No.
Amazing. I have outgrown Lamb of God. That's what he said.
Yeah, and you know what? That still actually holds true, because if you want to talk about I mean, that's a band I was so into when As the Palaces Burn came out.
Yeah.
Now, look, Lamb of God, I love you, okay? The Adler Brothers, Mark Morton, Randy Blythe.
Only one Adler brother these days.
I respect them so much, especially. I'll never forget when we saw that video of Chris Adler. He's like, "Oh, I ride the bike like a fucking 100 miles to work every day to work on my double bass calves," and I was like,
riding to the studio.
This dude lives it. This guy, I don't know if that was Philadelphia or.
No, I think that's making a sacrament.
Making a sacrament. Yeah, I have kind of outgrown them, but it's not them. Like, I'll still go back and listen to New American Gospel. What's that song it starts out with kind of like a phone trill? Like, it's like Pariah. Pariah. Like, Letter to the Unborn.
Right.
Holy shit. Okay, I won't do it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll still go back. Didn't know what song you were talking about when you gave him that little riff.
Yeah, hopefully that's a good picture. But
oh yeah, buddy.
I'll still go back to their old stuff, but they haven't really grown with me like these other bands, like 40 Watt Sun, like Between the Buried and Me.
I would definitely say they've stuck to the same style.
They're like on rails, and you know.
Boston Edge says Between the Buried and Me, Mordecai is one of the coolest songs ever written to me.
Yes. Yeah, Mordecai.
In his opinion.
Mordecai, actually, I think from Silent Circus, which is like the one right before the First Colors, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, correct me, Boston Edge, if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure. But like, okay, there's a video for that too.
Correct.
Thank you. This dude is quick.
Boston Edge is on.
People in Boston are quick. Okay, so I think the very first one that I heard, if not Mordecai, it's a video where it's got like a plastic doll in it. I think it is Mordecai, but it starts out so heavy. Like, it just goes into this like like with the blast beats, and they're all about it. And now you can look at some of their songs, really even from that same record, but especially nowadays, they'll have like either whole songs or stretches of a 13-minute long song that are some of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Okay, he does say that's Mordecai. Right. Thank you so much. So
hell yeah.
I also would say like Selkie's The Endless Obsession, or from that same album Alaska, the one where he says it's raining over and over again, and he literally goes up into a Queen Freddie Mercury level octaves. Backwards Marathon.
I feel like I'm getting
so
this,
good.
Homework list is just like spiraling out of control.
Right,
we may have to just start a spin-off pod with just Boston Edge and I to talk about Between the Buried and Me.
Alaska is a great album title, man.
So good. And
Alaska.
Bro, you should hear how the album starts.
Not to be confused with Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska. Also another good album title. But if I'm gonna take a state, out of the two to name an album, Alaska, definitely.
Definitely very good. Okay, really quickly before we do that, was there something else that the unofficial fourth member of the podcast?
Yeah. He says, "Angelic dude, I agree. Backwards Marathon." Yeah.
Yes.
Backwards Marathon.
That's the one
that's on my homework list.
Yes, that's the one that starts out extremely heavy, gets to literally Queen level vocals, and just amazing crescendo. It's like one of the best build ups in one of their songs.
I've seen Between the Buried and Me live. For Meshuggah, but I was kind of just more interested in emptying my cup into my
different times for sure. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks to Justin for getting this all working.
Oh yeah,
thanks to Boston Edge with
thanks for the comments and watching. Check us out: Tragic Forms, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Music,
This room.
Yeah. Let me just give out the Let me give out the address. Give out the address, and if you guys want to show up, just park on the street.
Here's the last four of our social.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get them out of here.
All right, so thanks for listening to That's Heavy Podcast. I can't wait to have you guys back. If you want a little sound clip featured on the pod, go on to Anchor.
If you're in a heavy band and you want to shoot the breeze.
If you're in a heavy band and you want to talk, we will definitely talk to you. Yeah. We may even use one of your songs on here if you want to get shouted out. That'd be a perfect way for us to kind of keep the vibe of the first season going. Whatever you want to send us, send it to us on Anchor. You can literally leave us a voicemail on the app, and we will play it on the show, no matter what it is. I'm saying that, hopefully, make me regret it. Yeah. Thanks for listening to Tragic Forms as well. That's Garrett and I's band that Justin does all the engineering for and stuff. So, like we said, there's 3 albums available on Spotify, number of covers and singles and stuff. So go check that shit out. And thanks again, guys.
All right, see y'all next time.
That's it.